Man, I thought I was done. I thought it was out, but they pulled me back in. What's going on, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB.
You guys are done.
Whoa. You guys are dead. What? And I did not want to watch any more Tyler Perry movies. If you've been keeping up, if you saw my reviews for the last few films, it's been all Tyler Perry, and I was driven completely insane. I had to stop for my own sanity. And then a few people told me, hey, are you going to review his newest Netflix film? And I said, wait, he has a new movie? Like, what?
That's some old bullshit.
I didn't hear about it. I didn't see a trailer for it. But enough people asked, so I decided to watch Mea Culpa, which is a 2024 film. Stop me if you've heard this before. It was produced, written, and directed by Tyler Perry. What a surprise. You know, it's not nearly as impressive if you do all of these things, do all of it yourself, but it all ends up being shit. Nobody is going to say, well, man, this guy works hard and does a lot, because it looks like you're doing the bare minimum. It looks like you're just not a good writer, not a good director, not a good filmmaker, which he is not. This movie is another checklist off the proof that Tyler Perry just stop. You peaked at Diary of a Mad Black Woman, which I think was his first film. He hasn't made a movie that was technically better than that. This film stars Kelly Rowland as Mea. She is a lawyer, an attorney, who is, right off the bat, the first scene is her in therapy with her husband, and they're not getting along. They're going through a rough patch, a lot of issues going on. She thinks he's having an affair. She's also upset about how close he is with his mother. And at first I thought, okay, maybe she has some valid points. But then she throws in, she says to the therapist, well, you know, he thinks because his mom has cancer that he can just spend all this time with her. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, Kelly Rowland, what do you mean his mom has cancer? Well, of course he wants to spend as much time with her as he can. Huh? This is really the hill that you're going to die on of like, oh man, you know, what an asshole my husband is, right? So right off the bat, I'm just sort of disliking both characters. I thought they both were unlikable. The husband, Cal, you see, because not only did I think she was being ridiculous, but then you see her interacting with his family and his mother. And I don't care if she has cancer or not. She and the rest of the family treat her like shit. So no wonder why she's pissed. No wonder why she's upset. Her husband never defends her. This is a movie with a bunch of unlikable characters. I'm not saying that any of these scenarios or a version of these scenarios can't be realistic, but it's everything all jumbled up and rolled into one. It's all of the Tyler Perry isms that he loves to just shit out. He just doesn't know what to do with himself. These issues are on repeat with every single film. Every single film covers all of this bullshit. The family doesn't like the wife. The husband and wife don't get along. One's mistreating the other. Oh, here's something you might have heard before. The wife is being seduced by a guy that she probably should not be sort of around.
Man, this some old bullshit.
Kelly Rowland gets this case of this guy who is accused of killing his ex-girlfriend. And the case doesn't look great for him. He looks super ultra guilty. But she takes the case because they need the money. So you get Trevante Rhodes as Zahari, whatever the fuck his name is, Zahar. And they try to make it seem like, wow, this guy, he's so smooth. He's so good looking. He's good looking, but it's like, wow, he's so charming that there's no way she's going to be able to sort of turn him down or deny him. And I'm like, I don't see any chemistry between these two characters at all. This is ridiculous. He's mumbling through all of his lines. It feels like he's half asleep throughout this film. And I've seen Trevante Rhodes in other things. I've seen him be a great actor in other things. I don't know what the fuck happened here. Did Tyler Perry give him cough syrup? Did Tyler Perry tell him to play it this low voice where you can barely understand him and where he comes across as super guilty and unlikable? I know that maybe Tyler Perry's trying to create a situation for a twist later on, but we're also supposed to see what Kelly Rowland sees in him. And I don't understand what she sees in this guy. I mean, she spends most of the movie denying him and saying, I'm not interested, let's keep professional, I'm married, blah, 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 same shit we've seen before in every one of his movies. But of course, one day, she just decides to have sex with him. Out of nowhere.
What? No.
He keeps claiming that he can tell she's interested, he can tell that she's attracted, he can tell that she wants him. And I'm like, how? How can you tell? Kelly Rowland looks disinterested throughout this entire film. I'm not going to say that she's bad in this movie. She's fine. It's mostly the material that she has to work with. But I'm just like, I don't see the attraction. I don't see chemistry. I don't see anything really to make me buy this bullshit at all. It doesn't help that the writing is atrocious. There is one scene where she goes over his place and he goes, I want to go do something. And she says, you know, because of this case, you shouldn't go outside. And he goes, I'm not going outside. And they go to like the basement of the apartment building, and there's a orgy going on in this basement, complete with red lights and fucking creepy music, naked people everywhere. There's a guy that goes up to Kelly Rowland and says, hey, I have some X. You want to have sex? And of course she runs out of there. But I'm like, what? This is not realistic, Mr. Tyler Perry. Has Tyler Perry ever been in a situation where shit like this has happened? I mean, maybe he does have some weird, fucked up nightlife stories. Who knows what kind of scenes Tyler Perry is into? But it just feels so devoid, so opposite of what seems like realistic scenarios, realistic situations that any person could find themselves in. And I don't know how any of this stuff makes her want to sleep with this guy. There's one scene where she shows up to his place again, and he's there with a naked woman, and Kelly Rowland's like, oh, shit, okay, I guess I should leave. And then the naked woman just starts going down on him to try to seduce her, to try to be like, huh, I bet you wish this was you. And she leaves, and then she comes back. And then she just has sex with him. Or, well, she starts making out with him, and then they eventually have sex. But it's like, you just saw him hooking up with this girl. What makes you attracted to this guy now? I am all over the place with this script, with this writing. I think this is one of the worst written films Tyler Perry has made. And that's saying a lot, especially given the round of movies that I've seen. I have so many thoughts, so many feelings, so many emotions going on in my head right now as far as just the level of shittiness this movie takes. I guess, should I talk about the twist? Does it matter? Does anybody give a shit? Do people want to stay away from spoilers? There's a point where everything comes out, right? The husband finds out that Kelly Rowland was cheating, and so it seems like, oh no, she ruined her relationship, she ruined her life, she ruined everything, right? The case is screwed up, it's all fucked. She goes on vacation, she runs into the ex-girlfriend that supposedly was dead, but she's not dead, she's alive. And so there's this whole now twist of like, well, so that means that homeboy's innocent, right? And so she tells the family of her husband, and come to find out, the family the mother with cancer, the brother who is also an attorney. He's the lawyer on the opposite side of this same case, but he's related through marriage to Kelly Rowland. So what judge would let them go opposite of each other in this case? Huh? But that's besides the point. That's the least unbelievable thing that happens in this film. You find out that the whole family is evil. The whole family are murderers. They're in on this whole deal. They set up Trevante Rhodes to be a killer because he slept with their sister. So they wanted to get him back. And when things aren't going their way, when Kelly Rowland is finding shit out, they decide to try to kill her. The last 20 minutes of this movie almost turns into a Scream film where they reveal their plot, they chase her around the kitchen with a knife, and it's so bad and so goofy. I had to think that Tyler Perry did this on purpose, that he made this bad on purpose. But then I started to remember films like A Fall from Grace and a lot more of his recent films, even Why'd I Get Married Too, where he has been doing this. He has been turning his films into a completely different thriller, I guess, type genre, and he thinks that he can write. He thinks that he can tell a story and have those shock twists. And I'm sorry, nobody in his camp is clearly have the balls enough to tell him that his stories and his writing is shit, that his scripts are shit. I know he's getting paid a lot of money by Netflix, and so don't get me wrong, there's clearly something. There's clearly an audience that loves this shit. But holy fuck is this bad. His films are getting worse. His films have gotten worse. And he either is not capable of directing better. I don't think he wants to direct better. I think he's perfectly fine with the bullshit that this movie was. This was terrible. And this was 2 hours. Way too goddamn long. The dumb shit at the end did have me laughing, but I guarantee you for all the wrong reasons. So I will not recommend Mea Culpa. What a waste of fucking time. And I regret, I do, watching this. This is absolutely going to be on my worst of the year. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you happen to have already seen this film. Let's talk about it. Why the fuck not? Like, comment, subscribe. Later.